Lovely Laveau and fam are something else.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are something else. I am Brother Fam, aka L Fam 79, but you already know that. I'm here with my tag team partner.
And of course, it's your girl, Lovely Laveau. It's a black blue with the kind of blue hair. It's going away. I'm so happy about it. But today, whenever you're watching, we are here with Stat Guy Greg. This man is a legend, from what I understand. How are you?
I've never heard that, but I'll take it. I'll
Greg,
take it.
aka Greg the Virgin Valentine,
I'll take
Oh,
aka
gosh.
aka Uptown Malcolm,
Oh,
Yeah.
this.
aka Discord Greg, but I ain't here to tell no tales. What's going on, brother? Good to
What's
see
going
you, man.
What's going on, you guys? I'm glad we can finally schedule this and get it going.
Absolutely,
Hopefully
man.
the first of many.
Of course.
Definitely.
Our house is your house. Tu casa. Ain't they have to say it? Tu casa.
Yeah.
Tu casa. Tu
Casa, mi
casa.
casa.
Everybody casa.
I don't, Casamigos.
Casamigos. Speaking
Oh,
of which, okay.
I've actually hung out with, like, you know what I mean? I've hung out with brother Greg, IRL, as they say.
The kids say.
Yeah.
We are old to be saying that on this show.
Are we?
Too.
No, but you heard how I
Are we
said
too old
it.
to say IRL or are we too old to say as the kids say?
We too old to say anything. We too old to be talking in internet in real life.
But we
are on the internet.
We all
I said
be on the
talking in internet.
We are talking in the internet.
We talking on the internet. See, now you don't be that old.
He's a lawyer.
This is the internet. We just have to accept it.
We're on the internet. We're not in the internet.
SGG Esquire. You know what I'm saying?
The internet is a part of all of this. We can't escape it. It just is what it is.
I would love an internet check. Go ahead.
Brother Greg, we hung out in you know what I'm saying? You usually broadcast from lovely Philadelphia.
Right.
What's that change like over there? Like going to, you mean, Harlem guy, you know what I'm saying? What's Philly like?
It's not that different, honestly. It's like it's a city, like it's another big city. I think that's part of the reason we came to Philly. Me and my wife is just like that New York vibe. It's never gonna be New York, but at the same time, Philly is not trying to be. And that's the mark of a great city and a real city, is that they don't even care about what's going on somewhere else. It's like, this is Philly and this is what we do. And we're just comfortable here. Like there was no real transition. It's just like we fell into it real quick, real easy.
That's unfortunate. There's not a city I dislike more than Baltimore, other than Philly.
The funny part is Philly is like New York and Baltimore had a baby. Like,
exactly, and that's probably the problem.
It's kind of the city that Philly is, from my experience. Even the ride into town is similar to like riding into Baltimore for the first time. Like, you get there and the stadium is right there, you know what I'm saying, and you see but it's not like super like New York is, city light pollution and all that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about where you at now?
Just like I said, the familiarity, like, and the different neighborhoods, like Philly, and same way as New York. Like, New York got the 5 boroughs, and even within the 5 boroughs, there's like different hoods in each borough that have their own vibe, their own like essence. And Philly is really like that. Philly really has like different neighborhoods that I really mess with a lot. Like, we're in West Philly. Black people. Black people know about West Philly. We love West Philly. Black people love West Philly. We out there, Center City is not too far away. South Philly is not too far away. We go to South Philly a lot. Philly's just a dope city, man. Like, it really is. And I feel qualified to say that because we travel a lot too, man. Like, me and my wife, we you don't often find us in Philly. So for me to give Philly its respect, it's not like, I didn't come from like a too light town, or like I'm not wide-eyed or like Philly. I come from Harlem, which is in the greatest city on earth, New York City. And I can say that Philly, after my time here, has earned my respect.
The Crown Royal has already come out to play. I love to see that. So, it being that you just kind of migrated from one crazy place to a crazier place, what do you do to kind of relax? What do you do to unwind when you're in Philly? Because it has to be stressful. I'm stressed hearing about it.
Philly's kind of laid back. Listen, bad things do happen in Philadelphia. I'm not gonna say they don't. That wasn't just a Donald Trump. You see, but it's like I've never felt like unsafe or like stressed or like worried about anything that was going on in Philly. Even like at the height of the pandemic, when there was the protests and the George Floyd and all that, and like the police brutality and all that was happening right around the same time all over the country. I know New York dealt with some stuff. Philly did also. I'm sure Baltimore did too. But I never felt like unsafe. Like there's never been a street in Philly that I was like, I can't walk down the street, or like a neighborhood that I feel like I couldn't go down on that like that. Cause it's like, and then maybe that's just the New York.
I was about to say,
like, I don't feel that way.
Listen, I'm walking down South Street. I walked too far past Ishkabibble on South Street, and things started getting weird. I was like, nah, I got to get out of here. It was a black dude dressed up like Hulk Hogan. I said, I got to go.
Oh, I seen that dude.
That guy.
I've seen him. Are you familiar with this
Yes.
dude? Like I saw him down in my hood one time. I was just like, yo, this is insane. I saw him for the first time. Come to find out he's like a Philly legend. You want to talk about legends? It's like everybody knew exactly who I was talking about. I can't believe you saw him on South Street.
Yeah.
But it's insane. That dude's insane.
Yeah, he's an interesting character, but so is Philadelphia. So
So wait, where's everybody from? Where's like your favorite cities that's not your hometown? Like
favorite city? That's a great question. This nigga, we had all right. So the last two folks on here, tried to produce the show. Now you are asking the question. I like
this. Is crazy.
I like it.
How'd they try to produce the show?
It was Sparks and Cal. What do you want me to say?
Okay, exactly. That's enough.
What do you want me to do?
No, interviewing us.
This is just conversational, man. This is just happy hour talk right here.
I love that. We deserve.
Yes. Let me get two more.
You don't need no more.
You had two already. Yeah.
This is a sick Negro.
I like New York. I really like New York because of the access. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of stuff. Like I like to do things, and you can almost do anything in New York. I am not.
I feel like that almost is disrespectful.
What do you mean?
I feel like you can do anything in New York.
Nah, you can't.
Almost.
Nah, you can't. Like, I'm not going to the beach in New York. You know what I'm saying?
You're not going to a New York beach.
No,
but there are beaches. You can. You said it's not impossible.
Correct. No.
So
but
it's not. That's not an almost.
But do you want gamma radiation?
Time you went to the beach in New York? Wiggle them goddamn piggies in the goddamn.
I'm not sure. But I mean, I've done it. I've like gone in the water out there, all that. Like I'm fine. I'm the tallest person on the chat, so maybe it was New York beach water. I don't know.
Gamma radiation.
Beach water.
I'll take it. Who knows?
Yeah,
but I mean, anything you name can be done in New York.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, might not be well. Yeah, you
can't get
done well, but
you can't get a good crab cake in New York. You cannot.
It cannot.
Is impossible. It is
I'm allergic, so I'm going to take your word for it. Although I will say that I doubt that highly. I don't think I've ever had any good seafood in New York. Listen, I have to trust you guys. I have to trust you. I'm not gonna test that.
Yeah, please don't.
No. I'm not gonna test that.
So your original home is well.
Hold on, Blue.
What happened?
Favorite city that's not your hometown?
Oh yeah.
First of all, I don't call me Blue like that. I thought I was in trouble.
Well, if you looked at the question slide by, you might be.
No, I was letting Ill Fam 79 do his thing. My favorite.
Call me by my phone.
I almost did, but I called myself. You saw it come.
I did.
Respect. I would have to say Orlando. I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Duke or
Orlando.
UNC?
I am a Tar Heels fan. That's
Okay.
why I want him to change this blue.
I respect it. I
I'll
respect it.
change it to Krzyzewski blue. You keep playing with me.
I
Right.
used to be, but then like I fell off. Like wrestling, it's only so much other interest you can have.
Yeah.
When you partake in the topic that we're not going to touch at all today.
Yeah,
So,
that doesn't exist here.
Yeah, like back when like Sean May and all that, like that was my era.
2004, 2005, Tar Heels is the best team.
Yeah,
I was a Rashad McCants fan. That was my man's.
They could do no wrong. They could do
at
no
all.
wrong to me.
Look at you over there looking like a dookie.
Excellent play on words. Orlando is a fun city though. Orlando is underrated.
It is. It's very nice. It's like a beach city.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's
mad
so
beaches.
Cool. Man, beaches is everywhere.
Black beaches, white
black beaches, white beaches.
I've
seen some Latino beaches out there too. It was fire.
Shout out to the Latino beaches.
Arriba. So yeah.
Hey, yo.
Holy smokes. Yo.
What's in her cup?
Water and chlorophyll.
I'm about to say, what did she put out? She said water and it was bright green.
Water and chlorophyll.
That is reefer juice.
That's how I can be almost 40 and look like I'm still in my 20s, I think.
I think it's
Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
It's just because you black.
Well, it don't crack unless you smoke it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. Yeah. No.
What about you, brother? World traveler?
Favorite city that's not my hometown? It changes. But like I like the cities that don't try to compete with other cities. You know what I mean? Like I like the cities that stand on their own shit a little bit. Like I really like LA. I like Toronto. I like London. I like Paris. Like I like Orlando. Orlando's cool. I like Chicago. Had a great time in Chicago. Honolulu's like, but if gun to my head, if I had to choose, I'd probably always say London. Like I'll go with London. London's a good time.
So you was eating the beans and toast?
I did once, and it's not for me. It's not for me.
So all right. And
it's
this is really what I was about to get into. It's like when we go on vacations, me and Mrs. Pham are kind of opposites in what we like. She likes like the beach and go to the pool, more so the beach and relax and sit outside and all that. I want to go and I want to go to a nice restaurant and I want some hustle and bustle. I don't want excursions. I want to do a little shopping, do something I've never done before. And so that we kind of diverge that way. What's your ideal like vacay?
So I feel like my wife is kind of like your wife in that there has to be like some sun, some beach. I could take it or leave it. Because you're probably like me in that because wifey calls the shots on the sun and the beach, you end up taking it. You go to the beach and you sit down for a little while. But I'm like you, just like not too much planned, just good food, seeing some stuff I never seen before, doing some stuff I never done before, going into the towns and just existing in like not in what my idea of the city is or the place is, but just like, all right, this is what this city is really about. Like, this is what they're known for. This is what they do. And like being a part of that.
You like to experience the culture of the town, of the city.
Right. Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand this. So what would you say is like a good mix that would satisfy both of y'all's needs?
I mean, Hawaii was phenomenal for that. Like they had, of course, beaches, sun, and a lot of culture, just like, and it's really is its own culture. It became that way, I think, just from like the Americans are there, Japanese people are there, it's super close to Asia. It was one of the Polynesian islands with, Samoa and Fiji and all of that. So like they have all of that. Like there. They have all of it. And the food was incredible. Like you talk about, getting good seafood, like Hawaii, it's in the middle of the ocean. So like, you haven't had a good, like, we love people like sushi. If you like sushi, you think you've had good sushi, but you haven't had it until you get like over there where not only do they have the access to like the fresh fish and all that, but like Japan is right there and Japanese people brought their culture over. So it's not just around, but it's also what they do. It's just like
the authenticity of it.
Yeah. Don't they eat wild spam though?
They do. I had a spam. I think it was called spam musubi. It's spam and they wrap it in rice and then they wrap that in like some seaweed. You just hit that with just a little bit of soy sauce, just like 4 or 5 drops of some soy sauce.
More salt to
salt sandwich. It was phenomenal. And it was cheap too. Like people talk about how expensive Hawaii is. Like you jump into we went to 7-Eleven, got one of those for like $1 something, $2. And it was mad filling, delicious. And it was just gas station spam.
Yes, it was delicious. And now you're from the South, so you lean back because y'all got gas station chicken. So
mind your business.
You understand.
Hold on. Let's break it down. I got it. Tag me in, partner. Tag me in. Thank you. Okay, so what we're not gonna do is talk trash about fried chicken from a gas station.
No, we're not. That's what I'm saying.
On a good drunken night, you go over there to that daggone Circle K. Up here on Martin Luther King.
No, I'm not eating no more. I'm not stopping on Martin Luther King.
I'm not saying stop. Keep the car running so you get the chicken and just jump in, and because you got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, it's Martin Luther King.
Listen,
immediately.
We're not disrespecting gas station chicken. What I'm saying is, about getting some good food from a gas station.
But spam, we don't even know what spam is actually.
Hey, listen, I had a scrambled egg and cheese sandwich for breakfast, so I can't have that discussion. Yeah, however,
you can't throw stones at because what exactly is scrapple?
Yes,
we don't know.
What is scrapple? But it's so good. It is. It's so good.
Then you understand.
You got
it's like ass gristle.
It's probably a little bit of that in there. It's probably a little bit of that.
At least 10%. At least 10%.
Got to be some ass gristle in there.
Have you? What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten, Greg? Like, because you travel the world, you know what I'm saying? You had some unelectric eel or something, you know what I mean?
I had ostrich before. I don't think that's that strange though. Like,
is that like? Do it look like the brontosaurus wings from?
No, it looked like steak. Tasted like steak. It was pretty good.
I heard it was a red meat, right?
I think so. Yeah, it tasted like steak. It was pretty good. Had ostrich.
I've had ostrich jerky.
I had like a bowl of raw fish in Hawaii. It was delicious. It was delicious.
Now we say raw.
It was raw. It was like, so we were at the sushi restaurant and you could get the sushi, which is also raw fish, but like they have like other different accoutrements that makes you forget. And I think it's called sashimi.
Sashimi. Yeah.
4 different varieties of just raw fish. It was like so fresh and
eating it like Heathcliff, like, you know what I mean? Like,
listen,
just come on.
It was delicious.
Don't ever do that again on camera. I hope someone clips that.
Yeah, you got to lead into it now.
So when you said
you did it and she caught
fish, it. Listen. One thing about me, anything that is inappropriate, I'm gonna catch it.
No, yeah, he did it. You called him out. Like it's done. You just got to lean into it now. It happened. Just make sure you get a good one that's gonna get clipped and you looking your best because it's gonna happen.
Heathcliff Fam is now his name.
Heathcliff Fam. And they did like when he would snatch it out, like they would do the little thing, ring, like down the piano. Like they do the little scale down the piano.
Yeah.
Really quick, Greg, because what we do here is really a lot of it is contingent upon like me and Lovely's chemistry, right?
Am I throwing off the vibes? Is that what you're about to say?
No,
Okay, yeah.
no.
That sounds like a preamble to you fucking up the vibes, though.
Nah,
Did it not? It did, right?
What I'll never do is go against my tag partner. What I will say is that we got to let them finish the story to see where it was going.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
You're in good hands.
Yeah, that's my bad. You called me a weird name, and then you said I was. Threw me off. I'm sorry. I was rebounding.
Continue.
Yeah. Floor is yours. My bad. Floor is yours.
No, it's yours. You got to finish your story, ain't it?
No, you was brother. You was about to say something.
No,
I can't just go back and you acting like this.
What you do is contingent upon
good chemistry. You've been a podcaster. We're not going to talk about what you talk about, but you've been podcasting for a great deal of time. How long do you think it took you to really develop your rhythm with, you know what I mean, the folks you pod with, and how important you think that is to what it is y'all do?
How important it is? It's everything. It really is, because you could probably hear it when two people just get thrown together, or when, you know, one person. That's the toughest one, right? When one person has their own podcast and they have to rely on sometimes a different guest every week, and there's always one that is just like, for whatever reason, it's not clicking when you need it to click in that moment right there. Like, you could have a great rapport off camera, you could be like cool, you could know each other for however long, and then as soon as you hit record, it's not clicking. So like that chemistry, like it really is everything, because then it translates to the listeners too, right? Then they feel like if something's not right, they pick up on it, and if something is good or if it's going great, they want to be a part of it and they come back. So that chemistry is everything. And I think how quickly it didn't take that long, honestly. I'll say what kickstarted it was Hulk Hogan. His tape was released like maybe a month or two after I joined the podcast. And everybody it was me, it was Shoemaker, it was Rosenberg, a couple of other people were there. I think so. We might have taped like a trivia episode, and Dip was there for that, Goldstein, Zach Linder, and then we taped the trivia episode, and like right that morning, the Hulk Hogan stuff like broke. So the trivia episode's already planned. We filmed it, put it out. That ended up doing really well. But then right after we recorded, Shoemaker was like, all right, everybody else, like if you're not on the podcast, get out. Right? We gotta like, we have to talk about this. Like he kicked everybody out, right? And now I was new to the podcast too, so I started walking to the door too. He's like, nah, Greg, you sit. Pulled up the chairs, the mics were already there, and then him and Rosenberg went for like an hour on Hulk Hogan, and that's when it was just like the magic was like, we realized that like all the pieces were right there. Not that they didn't have it before, but I think with me coming in as like the stat guy and just being somebody who chimed in at the end, and not really knowing how to weave me into it, like after that one, it was over. Like we knew that we had something special. And then so just to be able to be back at Spotify and Ringer with Shoemaker doing his thing over there, Cheap Heat is there now, Cal's has a show now, Wednesdays Worldwide, but just the three of us being able to put it back together in a way, that really has been great.
Who would have thought racism would bring people together in such a way?
It's a uniter. It's a uniter when people aren't going to stand for it. It really is.
I love that. He ain't never did nothing for me except for bring these brothers together. I love that.
No, it's true. Like,
man,
I really don't know how much longer I would have been. Like, I probably would have still been a part of the podcast and like at the table, but how much longer would it take it for me to officially be third mic? I really don't know, but Thanks to Hulk Hogan, it happened in like 6 weeks.
Damn.
Hey, he did something right.
Yeah, something good came out of that. It happened in like 6 weeks for me.
So how do you feel about like the switch from podding? Like you said, y'all was sitting there, stopped at the door, pulled out the chair, and you guys sat at the mics and recorded to this, right? These boxes, Zooms, StreamYards, and all that. Like the transition that happened, over COVID. Did that affect anything that you do? Did you have to learn the chemistry again?
Yeah, you did, because like I don't know how often you guys did Black Rasslin in person, like, but it really is different. It's different. Like you can almost, like you can sense when somebody's about to be done. Like you can sense when it's time to jump in. If you have a guest, because then remember, right? These video podcasts, it's kind of like a post-pandemic thing. Like there were some going on before, but it wasn't to where everybody needed a podcast that had to be recorded for video also, and you had to have the nice studio and you had to have the lights and the music. Like you didn't need that really. You just needed a good engineer or a good producer, somebody who's going to edit it well, and then you sit there and you get your bars off and they chop it up. A lot of times it's like minimal of what needed to be edited out, and then you put it out, right? And when you're in the room like that, it's just easy to tell when somebody's going to be done or when you need to jump in, or you know what I mean? Like, because you can see it. You can see like little things, like maybe somebody's tapping their leg because they got something they want to say, or maybe somebody like, is leaning back in their seat because like whatever you said triggered an idea, and like all those different things you can pick up on, and you can't really do that online because you lose a lot of that. So it definitely took some relearning to adjust to like the Zoom and the screens, especially when you have a guest, because then who's gonna jump in and like when and what are they gonna say something you thought of saying? You know what I mean? Or is there gonna be a lag? That's not a shot. It's just is there gonna be a lag? Or even sound quality, right? Everybody had to go buy mics and get all that shit together that you wouldn't have to think of when you just walk into a room and everything is set up for you.
Yeah. So with you having the experience that you've had with potting and doing your shows, what advice would you give someone who's thinking about starting up or has a show, how to get to the next level? Or do you think, it's a two-part question, fam likes to do these, so I'm gonna steal his idea. Do you think that people should have an end game when they're talking about having a podcast? You don't want to just get on here and just talk for 25 years. You want to have an end game. So what advice would you give, and should they have an end game?
I don't think people should have an end game. I think I'm working backwards. I don't think people should have an end game. I think like you want to have something organic, right? Because like, so we were talking a little bit earlier about, I think Fam was talking about me being a professional. I'm an attorney, and I cannot tell you for the life of me, right? I have cases, and you can prep and prep and prep, and you can read the file to the point where you know every letter and every punctuation and know exactly what you're going to say. And then you get in court, and every single time, 100% of the time now, without fail, something happens that I had no plan for, none. And you have to pivot. In those moments, you have to pivot, because it's like, at that point, if you go with the plan, you're on the Titanic, right? Because the plan is women and kids get to one of these 10 lifeboats, and everybody else, I hope you can swim. And then if you can't swim,
it's over.
Yeah. So you have to be able to pivot. So I don't think having an end game necessarily benefits you, unless it's one of those things where you know that like, listen, this is the story that I want to tell or the message that I want to put out. It's only going to take me 10 episodes to do it. I'm going to do it once, do it right, and never do it again. And that's it. If you plan on doing it for years, I don't think it's worthwhile to like, and of course this is easy for me to say, right? Because I didn't start the podcast that I'm on. I didn't do much of the heavy lifting. I'm not the big name on it, right? It says Cheap Peter Rosenberg is the name of the show, right? I literally get and have had for almost a decade been able to show up, ride coattails. The infrastructure is already built for me, and then I get most of the benefit, almost none of the heat, unless it has something to do with something that I said directly. Like all of the heat goes to Rosenberg. I mean, there's been some stuff that I've said that I know I've said that he's had to answer for. And even then, because it's Rosenberg, and like you talked about earlier, like, yo, that's my tag partner, and I'll never go against the family. Because it's Rosenberg, he's answered for it and has never pulled me to the side and been like, yo, Greg, you gotta stop. I'm catching heat for it. Like, he just takes the heat. So it's like, I have it very easy. So for me to try to give advice to somebody that's trying to do it from the ground up, I don't know how much it'll resonate, but I can say, especially with like everybody being at home and having their own workspaces, having good equipment, you cannot go cheap on the equipment. You need at the very least good mic, a good camera, and some good lighting. That's number one. You got to have the equipment right. And then I see people trying to like go online and chase engagement and chase followers, and like that's the fastest way to flame out to me. Like, because you're not delivering you to the audience at that point. You're becoming like Pinocchio in a sense, and they're Geppetto. Like at some point you're going to end up on the string. You'll never be a real boy. And it's like, you can't do it. You have to
A lot of y'all ain't real boys.
You have to give them your authentic self. Like you can't do it if you're paying attention to what everybody wants you to think, what they want you to say, or jumping in on things that have no concern to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I get it. I used to be like that. Like I used to see an opinion, and my thing was, I respect everybody's right to have an opinion, but I don't have to respect the opinion. And that if it comes across my path, I will show the opinion the level of respect that it deserves, which in some cases none, right? I used to be like that. But then it's like,
used to be?
No, I still am, but it's like I temper it though, because it's like I can be like that with people I know, because now there's like a rapport. But it's like, you know what I mean? Then it's like you in the dining hall, or you're on the corner or whatever, like you with your boys, with your peoples, with your, you know what I mean? Like that's different than just like somebody who I have no idea who they are expressing a true feeling that is theirs and they're shitting in their cereal for no reason, just other than I saw it. So it's like,
for no reason.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's bullying. It's really.
I don't know many more people more willing to like go to war for an opinion than Brother Greg.
Wow.
So on their show, his co-host often, I'm a podcast listener, avid podcast listener.
Appreciate you.
When Brother Greg is arguing his truth, he is accused of contorting. I think they call him the contortionist. I feel like the opposite. Greg is so steadfast in like every opinion he has. Like, when was the last time someone you're not married to changed your mind about something?
It happens. I don't keep score like that, so I don't have like, I can't pull out a ledger and be like, oh, on this date I was wrong about X. It happens, but my thing is like, if I say something, and this is another piece of advice I'm going to give to podcasters, so that you stay on your square. If you can't defend what you're about to say, don't say it. You didn't think about it enough, or you don't care about it enough. And if you do care about it enough, like I said, that second step of defending it and standing on it. Stand on it. If you're gonna say it, stand on it. A lot of times people say things that they cannot defend.
Stand up.
Nah, for real. I can't tell you how many times like you see somebody say something that they cannot defend, or if it's like tweet deleted, or it's just like they you push back and they get offended that you now are challenging their stance.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't offend me because like I can tell you why my opinion is the way it is, even if it boils down to that's what I like, or like I can't explain it, I just feel this way. I'll say it.
Yeah.
It's a defense. It's not the strongest defense. It's not the strongest defense. Right. It's a defense. But like people try to like chase the hot take. It's like, no, I don't do takes. I'm on a show where I have to give my opinion. It's not a take. I'm not trying to like
push the buttons.
Yeah, no, this is what I feel, and this is how strongly I feel about it. If you want to challenge me on it, I have a defense. Like I can not, because like at the end of the day too, outside of podcasting, this is my profession. So like you're not gonna catch me with my pants down. If I say a thing and you need like examples or proof, I can give you the proof. It's not going to change your opinion, but you're also not going to say that I pulled my opinion out of my ass or that it came from nowhere or whatever. Like, if this is what you need to hear that informed the thing that I just said, it's right here. But people just say stuff for the clip so that it can go online, and then they hope that it brings in listeners. And I feel like it never does. I don't think it does.
A lot of times it doesn't. People just say things for the sake of argument and having something to say. And I also wanted to add, seeing a lawyer with his pants down would be very interesting in the court of law. I'm glad that he said it. I have been good this entire show.
Lawyers have to submit briefs.
See? And I love the fact that you're someone who always stands on their opinion, because we've reached the point of our show.
Dun dun dun.
We're here already?
Yeah, because I think this is going to be the meat and potatoes with him. He strikes me as an interesting young man. Okay. I want to know. So we're at our 5 count. And if you have not watched that show, we're going to ask you 5 oddball questions to help our listeners get to know how your brain works a little bit.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. So hopefully.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Now, the first question on the 5 count is, if you could listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who would it be?
So, because now I'm thinking about this strategically, like you have me really like, I'm going to go with Drake. And the reason why is because Drake is an artist that catches a lot of, like, what's the number one criticism of Drake, right? He's a cult. That might be number one. So let's go. The number 2, or what I was thinking was that like he's a culture vulture. He switches genres. One minute he's doing this, the next minute he's doing that, and da 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 da. And so I feel like if I choose Drake, then I'll get a little bit of the Mandem music from the UK. I'll get a little bit of the reggae and the soca, and I'll get a little bit of the hip hop, and I might get some R&B. So at least Drake, while he's bouncing around in between these different genres, if I'm stuck with one guy, I'll at least get to hear different types of music. And all, as much as I love Hov and would have loved to have said Hov or Big, they're gonna keep me in one box. And like Drake will give me that versatility with the music that maybe I won't realize that I'm stuck listening to the CLB the whole time.
That's crazy. That's a good explanation to that, though.
So
Thank you.
It's funny because our stat guy is a big Drake guy.
Oh yeah, the imposter.
Oh no,
not the imposter.
No, I'm not the imposter. He is.
Oh, no.
I was standing. They did call him Snow a couple weeks ago. Boom boom dang. Yeah, gotta jump in.
That was a good song.
So we would
It
be
was.
lying if we
It
say
was.
it wasn't.
It's a
If
fire ass song.
yeah, everybody when the dude, whatever dude was
Jim
talking,
Carrey.
hey yo, Snow, what happened in
Wasn't
there?
that MC Shan?
Was it
I think it
Was
was
it?
MC Shan.
Shan?
I think it was Shan.
Oh, that's how you rep the bridge.
I think
So
that
while
was
she's
MC
looking,
Shan.
really quick. So your man Drake, this as of this recording was just in New York,
Okay.
at the Apollo, and he bought out.
Is this the two? Is this part the question number 2 in the 5 count?
No,
I'm all right.
no.
We gonna ride. Let us ride.
Yeah, he bought out Dipset,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know what I mean. And Drake came out with the pink fur and the cell. Can you really quick, just to kind of diverge from the list, can you give me your top 5 Harlem legends?
Top 5 Harlem legends.
Present company excluded.
Diddy got to be on the list. Diddy got to be on the list, for sure. Because Diddy, I'll say Diddy and Dame Dash as one, and put them together for the same reason, in that they went to Brooklyn and they found two of the greatest to ever do it, and they were the minds that showcased them to the world in a way that like people still love Big, still love Jay, like, you know. And I don't believe it's a thing that could have happened without Puff or Dame. So that's one.
Okay.
Melba of Melba's, the restaurant. It is a phenomenal soul food restaurant in Harlem, just off Central Park. Okay. A lot of people go Sylvia's. I'm not a Sylvia's guy.
Okay.
But I would definitely go Melba's. Yeah. So if you're from Harlem, you know there's a dude who in the summer times, I hope he hasn't passed away, but like he used to like be rollerblading and have like this little ball, like it was like a little rubber ball, and he'd be like roller skating all the time. Like, and sometimes he'd be on 125th, sometimes he'd be on 145th. And like he's roller skating and dancing and just bouncing this ball and doing tricks with this ball. And like, there's no way you could be from Harlem and have been and like have grown up there and like be around my age and not picture the exact dude that I'm talking about. He's not a guy that anybody who's not from Harlem would know. I'm sure you guys are like,
I'm gonna Google him, see if he
what the hell is Greg talking about right now? But in terms of Harlem legends, this man whose name I have no idea, but he was a staple for at least 15 summers in Harlem. Like you see him around doing his thing with that rubber ball. He's a Harlem legend.
You see, I'm trying to see if I can find him on the internet.
Pee Wee Kirkland for sure.
Okay. Legend, couple games.
For sure. Like never made it to the league. But it's like you can't talk about basketball. You can't talk about New York City without talking about basketball, and you can't talk about basketball in Harlem without talking about the Rucker and Pee Wee. So he's number 4. And number 5, I'm gonna give it to Percy Sutton, R.I.P. He's like a civil rights activist, but like, and I don't believe he's originally from Harlem.
Okay.
But he came up with Charles Rangel and David Dinkins and Basil Patterson, who's David Patterson's the first black governor of New York. David Patterson, that was his father, and Percy Sutton, and look, the 4 of them sort of ran politics in Harlem and in New York, really. I was gonna say in the 90s, but it was really like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Charles Rangel just retired recently, but I went with him instead of like the entire gang of 4 or just like one of the other 4, because I used to see him, like I used to work for Rangel, but I used to see Percy Sutton like in the streets in Harlem, and I had met him one time. And after I met him that one time, like he would spot me and just like come and like chat me up and just like how you doing in school and this and that. And this is when I was like 16, 17. So like I was in high school and like this dude was already established. Like, but it was that important to him that like if you knew him from anywhere in the community, he fucked with you all the time. So it's like he's number 5. He's definitely number 5. And I should have thought about him first, but he's definitely coming in at number 5.
That's
Now,
what's up, man.
is this the young man?
Yo, that might be him. I got to see that picture in better quality. That might be him.
Yo, honorable mention to McGruff the Crime Dog.
He's from
the
Chicago.
rapper. He's from Chicago?
Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois? 60652?
No.
You said McGruff the Crime Dog.
But McGruff, but he was a rapper. McGruff.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You thought the cartoon kid?
Yeah.
He said the Crime Dog. So he literally said McGruff the Crime Dog.
Yeah, I mean, McGruff from all the Clue mixtapes and whatnot. Him and Dap. You know what I'm saying? Him and Dap.
Fantastic.
And I got to say this too about that Drake performance. Like I haven't seen it, but I saw like pictures of the Dipset portion of the performance. And yo, I grew up right in that area, and I can tell you that the recreation that they did of that corner is spot on. Like every detail, he nailed it. Like that corner store that mural is on, like that, he got it all exactly right. All exactly right.
That's dope, man. So the actual question is, what movie villain did you think was right?
Not Killmonger. I feel like that's the easy answer, but he was so wrong. Like he was a villain the whole way. Like he's no. Anybody who has said Killmonger, I feel like I'm nominating them to be banned from this podcast forever. Yo, like how many black women did he just brutalize?
Whoa, to be fair.
Killed one.
To be fair, he was in a fight
with his girlfriend. No, he just shot her.
Oh no, see, she was collateral damage. She just had to go. She was in the way. Sometimes you got to refocus. Sometimes, sex may throw you off your game and you just got to eliminate the problem.
I don't know.
Say it. But with the bald-headed women, they were scrapping them. You just gonna let them beat you up like that?
Listen, man. He should have put himself.
The doors had him in the clutch. Okay, he had to fight out the corner.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that. But the villains who I think were right, the Joe Pesci and my man from what was it, Marvin Harry or something like that from Home Alone. The burglars were right.
The wet bandits.
The wet bandits.
And then the sticky bandits, remember?
Had they not been irresponsible enough to leave their child at home, they would have got robbed, and them people would have just
listen. It's layers because Kevin McAllister.
Money.
True.
Kevin McAllister was an asshole. Let's just call it like it is.
He was.
The whole.
All children of that age are every single one.
Okay, so you're not disagreeing, but he was.
No.
And listen, that family was in like an affluent neighborhood. They were like in the Chicago community. At the end of the day, it was just stuff, right? It was just stuff. If this family, if the pops was well off enough to pay for like 16 tickets, some of them first class to Europe and back, yep, and the transportation 2 carloads to the airport and back. That stuff was insured.
What did Peter McAllister do for a living?
He was based on
drugs.
Big Meech. He was definitely Big Meech.
He sold drugs.
Yeah, it was something nefarious.
Bigger Meech.
Bigger Meech. Even bigger Meech.
Yeah.
All right.
But at the end of the day, though, it was just stuff. Like was it Marvin? I forget.
Marvin Harry.
Marvin Harry. Yeah, Marvin Harry. It was just stuff, man.
Damn. I would have never thought that was gonna be an answer on this
It
show.
was just I like it. I
You're
like
right.
the lawyer
That's a good
saying. I like the lawyer saying the cat burglars are the right.
It
It's not
was-
the first time he said that. It's just have you ever said that? Look, Your Honor, it's just stuff.
Think about it.
What you
Had
mean?
they locked the door?
I know
Yeah.
them niggas had insurance. It was fine.
it wasn't short. It had to be. It's just
It's a
stuff.
victimless crime. They
Come on.
paid the insurance company. The
better-
insurance company reimbursed them.
How do we know this one insurance
Simple as
fraud?
that.
Let's talk about that.
Oh,
We don't.
I could be a lawyer too. Ha ha. Third question on 5 count. What conspiracy theory do you believe is real?
Area 51.
Mm.
There has to be. Listen, the universe is vast, right? Every time they talk about it, they discover a new part of space.
Mhm.
So it would have to be the height of human arrogance for me to just think that A, we're the only ones out here, and B, that we can't get touched. Because think about it, like we go into space, we put stuff out there, they send off signals.
Mhm.
What happens when you are not minding your business?
You think like it's like when you go to Chicago and wear your hat the wrong way?
Oh no.
No, it's true. It's true. It's like they know, if nothing else, whoever's out there, they know that we're here
Mhm.
because we keep boop, 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 boop.
Talking too much. That's what it is.
No,
The
it's true.
Earth talk too damn much. Shut the hell up.
They
Stop
know.
letting people know we here.
Niggas got podcasts and everything. It's wild.
Yeah, they looking at us right now. Like, look at these crazy N words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. I think we might have even said too much, but that's my answer. Area 51. I'm not even gonna explain it.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
That's
It's like they got another word for N words and stuff. They like, oh, these dang slivelaxes. You know what I mean?
Demigorgons.
Yeah, whole time.
What is the N word for aliens? Oh my god.
That's
they
the name
know
of
it
the
for
episode.
us.
That is the name of the episode. What is the N word for aliens?
For aliens.
I hate to keep doing this, right? Now the question is, what's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you in public, right? But like, why is the song "The Girl Is Mine"?
The boy is mine.
The boy is mine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, get it right.
The boy is mine.
Please don't botch
matter in the mythos of Stat Guy Greg. Why does that song matter? What's the importance of that song? And then you can follow it up with your most embarrassing.
So yeah, that's not even like top 3 most embarrassing things that ever happened. Listen, I have always been like early on, I decided that like you just can't care what people think about you.
Mhm.
And so when you do that, it's very freeing, but also it exposes you. It exposes, because then like you're doing something that you don't realize is weird, and then you do it and it's weird, and then that becomes your embarrassing story. You know what I'm saying, right? So but yeah, the girl is mine, or the boy is mine story. So it was like a December episode. It's funny, Fonte was he wasn't a guest, but he was with Rosenberg. So it was like me, Fonte, Shoemaker, Rosenberg, recording Cheap Heat, and somehow it came up like high school sports, or somehow the conversation took a turn, and Shoemaker mentioned that he got like a Letterman jacket for theater. So again, when you don't care what people think, your truth is just the truth. So I'm just like, well, if he got one for theater, I want one for dance, or like I'm owed one for dance. And then the whole conversation just derailed into a story that I think that it's lost now. The episode is so old that the audio is just gone. If you have it saved on your phone, then you might still have it. But the story goes that when I was in 7th grade. Yeah, I think 7th grade. I was very not athletic. Still am not. It's just like a waste of height and build. So the choice was you could go to gym or you could take dance class. So I'm like, whatever, I'll take a dance. Everybody can dance, right? But I didn't realize there was like a modern like Alvin Ailey type of dance class that they were trying. He was really the teacher, Mr. Saab, was really like, all right, this is the count 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit this move and very like regimented, right? Very regimented, and I made it the whole semester just like not keeping up. I may have gone down in history as his worst student, or at least a bottom 5 student that has ever had in that dance class. It was really the type of class that made you miss gym, even though I went there to duck gym. But it was so intense. But then at the end, they were like, you had to choreograph a dance. Like that was the final test. Pick a song, choreograph a dance to it, using the moves that he taught you all year. Now, mind you, the moves that he taught all year and the moves that I learned all year was like, this was the gap between them. It was like, this is what he taught, and this is what I ended up getting. So it was like what he expected to be in the repertoire and what I actually had in the repertoire was night and day.
Damn.
It was night and day. So I was just like, okay, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. And then you have to pick music too. So I didn't know what I was gonna even dance to. And then I don't know why I thought he was gonna go in alphabetical order. I was like, all right, I at least have some time to like watch a couple people, see what they do. He called me 3rd out of the whole class, and I had no music, no nothing, no moves, no nothing. So I just like,
you just Napoleon Dynamite that.
Yeah, the girl next to me had just did her dance to The Boy Is Mine. She had the single, and I was like, yo, please, can I borrow your CD? And then I'll put it in, and I just did like, I couldn't even tell you that. I just moved my body and flailed and hit some like pirouettes, and I did like some jumps. I just threw in. I just tried to be graceful. I was like, if I just do the move slow, they won't realize that I don't know anything. And it didn't work out. And it definitely turned out to be one of the most embarrassing things that ever happened to me.
And how tall were you at this time?
I don't know. I was tall though. I was like one of the tallest people in the class.
And you just
like skinny and like lanky. So it's just
modern
like
dancing to Brandy and Monica.
Yeah.
Did you have a Bret Hart shirt on?
Right now?
Then
at the time, no.
Oh, all right.
It was just like whatever the dance uniform was. I think it was like a black sweats, black shirt. But
why would you trigger me like that?
It's another. We don't talk about that.
We don't. No? But don't start it up.
Fair enough.
That was on you.
We don't talk about the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
See, I told you.
It's just a question. It's just a yes or no question. It's just a yes or no question.
I told her shut up. I told her.
If you, I mean, we can.
I'm just
the last question on the 5 count.
Right.
If you could do anything without getting caught, what would it be?
If I could do anything without getting caught, what would it be? I would probably find my way into a first class seat to somewhere I haven't been before, and just enjoy the extra space and the free everything and the amenities, and just go. I'll enjoy it all. Preferably Asia or Africa. I haven't been to Asia or Africa, but just like a long haul first class, do you need more champagne, sir, seat, and just take it and enjoy it, and do it on the way back, and the way back.
I feel like he got that answer because of his occupation. He don't want to say too much.
Listen. Why you gotta waste? Why waste it on something else, right? Why you're never gonna get caught, so why waste it on anything else? Why waste it on anything that you're gonna worry about? There's empty seats all the time on those flights. Don't just take one.
I ain't gonna worry about that money. I don't know.
He's like, listen, Mr. Rabinowitz, what would you like today?
Rabinowitz?
I was trying to get to a
That's
name.
from a movie.
The furthest, yes, it is. The furthest away from what this gentleman would be named.
Right.
Okay. A non-black name is the word you were searching for.
Correct.
So we didn't want to say Johnson, Jackson, or Williams. I understand. Got it. Cool. No problem.
Listen, I'll take one of those too. My last name is Hyde, so as long as it's not that.
Ooh,
I could be Johnson, Jackson, or Williams.
You can get a real good job
Or
with
Brown.
that name.
You could be Jackson Williams. You know what I'm saying?
I could be Jackson Williams.
Could be Earl. Well, I just wanted to say, sir, Greg, sir, I appreciate you.
He's upset about something.
I don't know what. He's mad about something else. 2, 4, 2. It was a pleasure bringing you here. This is my first time meeting you.
Yes,
it was absolutely a pleasure.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for having me.
I'm glad. Where can the people find you? What do you have coming up? And tell us what they can get at you if they need to.
At Stat Guy Greg on the socials, Twitter and Instagram. I'm not on Cheap Heat this week, but on most weeks you can find me at the Cheap Heat podcast on Spotify.
I knew it was gonna happen. I knew.
Oh, we almost made it.
It's okay. They know where we at.
Cheap Heat podcast. It's a part of the Ringer Wrestling Show feed on Spotify. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, but for me, if it doesn't matter to you, please use the Spotify link. And I believe on the last episode of Cheap Heat, Rosenberg let everybody know, or at least the day and the time of the Hollywood heat and greet.
Oh, we out there. We out there.
There will be a Hollywood heat and greet on Friday. Location is secret for now. The time is at 5 p.m., which, I mean, some people might be at SmackDown, but if you want to be with the real, the Hollywood heat and greet, Dipperstein keeps talking about some house party at his house. I don't know.
Yo, please tell that man
I don't know how
people in his house.
I told him.
I need all access to that heat and greet, man.
You said don't let people go to his house?
No, I don't let people go to his
That's
house.
what I told him.
Not his house.
He's tripping.
I told him. I was like, even if you got an Airbnb it, but don't let Dipper Lago, don't let him go.
Hey, yo, Dipper live wire too. Listen, Dipper live guy. He like it right. Shout out, he's my kind of guy.
He doesn't seem convinced about not letting people go to his house for
Dipper Lago.
Yeah, so it might happen. You might hear us talk about details for that too on the podcast. But yeah, that's all I got going. Hopefully your listeners don't need me for any legal services.
Well,
I'm gonna put that out there. I do divorces and child support cases. I don't want to have to help any of you guys. Your life, I want your life to be good.
Yeah,
we're not even gonna put that out there.
I ain't gotta worry about none of that.
Absolutely outstanding, man. We appreciate you, brother Greg.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to Cali. But all that being said, I am IlFam79 on your social media of choice, aka the Aunt Anderson podcast, and aka Captain Broadbano, Bruder. I'm a Philip, Sticky the Dragon Steamboat, Pod Shampire, God's favorite podcast, the Potty Piper. I'm in the podcast, Chew Bubblegum, and I'm all out of Denty. Nice to see your love daddy at WFAM, where family always matters, and my tag team partner.
As always, it is your girl, Lovey LaVeaux. It's the Black Blue Hop with the big blue hair. And don't forget to go over to foryourwear.com, get that shirt, get that hoodie. We spent a lot of time on that, so we need to run those numbers up. And always, you can find us on all of your social media platforms. It's Something Else Pod without the G, because we are all the G you need. Bye.
Peace.
Oh, shit. Say it again. Say something else. Oh, say something else. Say something else, nigga.